Thank you for tuning into Soul's Journey podcast with Lotus.
Hello, it's Lotus. Hello, beautiful souls. This is your co-hostess.
And I am Rose Gold with Divinely Blessed. You can find our links below in the description. This episode today is going to be about
generational patterns.
Reaping what you sow. Life is a result of your decisions. I was recently scrolling down Pinterest and I seen this picture and it was split in half down the middle. It was a tree and the tree was desolate on one side but so full and so lush on the other side. And there was a girl and she was holding hands with another girl and she was dressed in all white and the other person was dressed in all black. And then on her side it was the Garden of Eden behind her. And on the other side, it was just this really dark portrayal of a garden. The garden was kind of wilted. Leaves were falling. It was barren. And I say this because reaping what you sow is when you plant seeds into your mind, you're constantly, subconsciously making decisions based on the seeds that you have planted within your mind. And these seeds, they come to grow as you move down the path of your life. Have your mind already aligned to what it is that you desire. It's like your body automatically makes decisions based on that desire, based on that final outcome that you're looking for, that you want. And it's whether it's good or bad, the way that you get there, the decisions that you make, determines the outcome of that desire. So if you decide to take one path instead of the other path, then you make specific decisions, right? So if you want a positive thing, if you want good things to come for you, if you want good things to happen for you and you want to work to achieve and you put that work in, you do the inner work and you grow, you're growing your inner garden, nurturing yourself and nurturing your mind and your soul and your body, then you will receive what you are sowing. That is reaping what you sow. As you go along, you're constantly dropping seeds that grow behind you. And these seeds are speaking metaphorically. The seeds that you plant within your mind grow from within and grow on the outside of you, and it shows in the way that your life becomes. It reflects on the outside. It becomes something that is physical, that becomes manifested in the real 3D. And reaping what you sow is the life that you have is a result of your decisions. So on the other end of that, just like this photo that I just described, the darkness is that is also a path that you can take, and you can plant seeds of darkness and they can grow behind you, but they might grow to be barren, or they just might not. It will show and it will manifest in your reality. The fruits have fallen and the trees are barren and there's no opportunities and there's famine and there's struggling. But on the other side, it's an accumulation of everything, right? Of every decision, every little thing that you do counts for something, even if right then and there you don't see it, or you don't receive it when you're expecting it. It always does come back later down the line. So I say all this to say, when we make our decisions, we have to keep in mind the long term. How is this going to affect us in the long term? What is the results that we want to see with our lives, right? Do we want a lush garden? Do we want opportunities abound? Do we want to be able to look over the horizon and see our future before us? That is what I'm trying to get at. And these decisions is passed through. It's passed through the feminine energy. It's passed through the womb. And so karma is passed down from you, your decisions, your actions, your thought patterns. It is passed down through the womb into your offspring. and they have to bear the karma, whether it's good or bad. It does go onto it goes onto your offspring, and it is facilitated through your family, through your bloodline. And this is why people often have the challenges that they're facing, is because it is passed down through their bloodline, through people's past decisions, through their actions, the people that they choose to associate. And like I say, people are a result of their environment. So that is why creating generational patterns and breaking generational patterns is so powerful, because you don't know how your actions are actually affecting your bloodline after you. So that's what I wanted to get at. What are your thoughts on that, Lotus?
It definitely affects like your whole ancestral lineage, like after and before as well, because as you are shifting and constantly transforming, you're also transforming those like outdated programmings or narratives that your ancestors used to believe in. And being in the present moment, you're able to make these choices that are beneficial not just for yourself, but right for the family and eventually the whole world. Like you're basically planting a seed. Like
you're setting the bar. That's how I see it.
Exactly. You're either raising it or lowering it, and our goal is to raise it constantly, to evolve.
Right, and then we have so many people, and they're trying to constantly claw their way up to the top by doing underhanded things, and they're trying to like reap the benefits of a full lush garden, but by doing it in an underhanded way. And this is actually them planting seeds of planting seeds of negativity and disease and famine in your own bloodline. And a lot of people don't understand this. Some people are just not mature enough to be able to grasp the fact of that their actions do actually affect them for times to come. For it affects their bloodline, it affects their lineage, it affects the people after them.
Right, because this world is not fair. We all know that. We all suffer. We all go through trauma. But if you're taking shortcuts, it's gonna be recorded. God is gonna take note of that. Your intention behind it, the energy behind it, it will all be taken note. So at the end, you can't really run away from your own actions. But then that's another part of like reaping what you sow, is that are you able to be steadfast and disciplined in your own purpose and what your role is and what position you have in life? Because it really does matter what choices you choose to make in this life. It can either split to a negative timeline or split to a positive timeline.
And you always have a choice, you know? At the end of the day, it's the intentions behind it, like you said, that is so important. People don't understand that intentions is really everything. Like, the intentions behind what you do is, like, more important than the actual thing that you're doing. Right. And that is read by the universe. That is read by God. That is read by the higher powers that be. And they can feel that within you. When you sow those seeds, they can feel the intentions behind the seeds that you're sowing. And that is why things come to pass as they do. Because either you're working from the purity of your heart and your soul, or you're working out of the ego from a physical standpoint, from a two-dimensional standpoint. You're just nurturing your body and not your soul. That is a common curse of famine in people's bloodlines, is they're not looking to ascend, they are just looking to gratify their own their own personal needs, their own physical needs, such as a lot of people really can't see past the things that they can see, the things that they can touch, the things that they can feel, you know. So some people, that's all they can see, and they can't really see beyond that. So they don't understand the gravity of the decisions, the gravity effect, the domino effect that occurs when they make decisions.
Right. And don't let yourself be tricked by a spirit, because don't let a spirit
It be
make you
shapeshifters
believe,
out there.
don't let that spirit make you believe that, oh, it won't matter if you make this choice. It will. It will matter. And you are going to have the one to take the consequences and the side effects of your choices. And that's how spirits be getting away with things, because it's like, they didn't do it, you did it. And, like, back to what you said about believing in a higher divine source and people not knowing beyond their senses, their physical senses, that's where faith comes in. Faith is so powerful in this world.
That's why you gotta keep your soul pure, because your purity is what protects you. And your purity is read by the universe. Like, the powers that be, the angels in the sky, they can feel that. And that is why supernatural things happen for people, based on their beliefs, based on their perceptions of life. It's like the way that you see your life is a reflection of you from the inside, and it manifests on the outside. So if you don't like what you see in the mirror, then that could be a reflection of something that needs to be worked on from the inside, doing the inner work. The inner work is just as important as the outer work, which is the physical work, the labor, the hard work that goes into growing and ascending towards your goal, what you want in life.
And some of the things you gotta work through are those generational patterns. It's not even yours, it's your ancestors.
Yeah, so you have to look at, like, for example, you have to look at, like, in your family, what are the common things? Like, for example, like, what is the things that are prevalent in your family? Like, my family has, like, different types of cancer and things like that, and it, like, passes through the womb, and it becomes, like, a generational thing. And I feel like cancer, it's like a spirit, but at the same time, it kind of, like, roams through your bloodline. And those are the types of things you got to pay attention to. Like, what are you putting in your body that might, further facilitate those things in your family that are happening. Like, for example, what kind of foods are you eating? For example, if you had, like, a family member that had diabetes, are you eating things that could also cause you to have diabetes? These are the types of decisions that you need to look at and change. Notice the patterns and change them from the inside, and that way it can't follow you into the next life, or follow your offspring, or follow just the people after you in your lineage.
Right, you gotta break the loop.
Yes. It's a lot deeper than the surface, but it was just something that I was thinking about the other day, and I was just like, I was taking a life review at, like, my family, the people in my family. Where do I come from? What are my traditions, my family traditions, and what were the things that they did, and what were the things that passed down, different types of things. And it becomes like a synchronicity, and it just becomes, it's like something nudging at you, like, this is something that needs to be fixed. Well, for me personally, that's how I feel. Like, this is something that I can change about myself that can stop that from happening to anyone else in my family. This is the thing that I could do to change, to break the curses that have been placed on my family, to stop us from prospering, to stop us from choosing purity. And it is all intentional. This is a battle, like, between the inner self and the connection that we all share with one another. And we are all connected. Like, we are all connected. And everything that we do affects other people around us. It creates, like, a ripple effect. And so when we listen to music and we take things in and we consume, the media and what they have to say, what does everyone have to say? What are they talking about? This is all stuff that you have to be conscious of. Like, what are you taking in your mind that is, like, further influencing the people around you, you know? Because we're constantly absorbing things like a sponge. Everything, our space, the air that we breathe, the food we eat, everything is a product of our environment. And we want to have a good environment. We want to have a lush environment. We want to be able to ascend. So we have to stay pure, because a lot of these entities, they like to come and try to trick us out of, like, choosing faith and choosing positivity. Because I really do feel like your mind is your mind perceiving things is all you need to do to change so much in your life. Like, all you need to do is just change your perception of something to change it completely in your life. And that's where it all starts, as a thought. Just one thought. One thought can go so far.
Especially when you think out the box.
For me, I know I think a little bit, abstract. I'm a very abstract thinker.
You made the roof, the garden.
And it all came from within,
Right.
It's not like I just walked into these blessings.
Yeah, you gotta work for it. That's another part of reaping what you sow. Throughout all these lifetimes in your spiritual journey, from when you were in the primordial waters until now, you have built your spirit up. You have built your energy up to this point where you've either mastered something, or you are continuing to master something.
And even when you're mastering something, you still have to learn, and you still have to be wanting to learn. It's the hunger for wanting to learn that is what drives people. That's what's feeding the soul, is knowledge. Knowledge is something that people cannot take away from you. Knowledge is something that is intangible but so powerful. It's the force within. Knowledge really is power, if you really think about it. All these immaterial things, like, they really don't matter, because what are you without that car? What are you without that job? What are you without the clothes that you wear? So that's why a lot of people, they tend to neglect that part of themselves, because they are working out of the ego. They are feeding their ego instead of their soul, instead of their mind. So I've been working a lot on my soul. I've been reading books and stuff like that. I picked up a few books, and I can't wait to talk about them. This one I have, it's called Becoming Supernatural. I should remember that, right? Becoming Supernatural. And to be honest, I haven't read it all, but it seems very interesting, because it talks about, like, frequencies and stuff like that, which is something I definitely want to get into. Like, frequencies are so important.
Definitely. There's this, I would say, master that I really enjoy listening into. His name is Q Reeves, and he had posted something that said the world is at war with frequencies, and they don't even know it. And as soon as he, like, posted that, I just zapped back into remembrance.
Wow.
I was like, oh snap. Like, this low vibrational feeling I've been having.
That's not our feelings.
Exactly.
We're feeling other people's feelings, and I had to realize that myself too, because sometimes it just hits me so hard, and, like, I have to acknowledge that that's not how I'm feeling. That's not my true feelings. I feel like I'm feeling someone's feelings around me or something, but maybe not everyone can relate to that. Not everyone has the capacity to be able to feel deeply.
Man, humans are like sponges. We take up everything.
We are sponges.
That's
everything
why we need
is a sponge.
That's why we need to really be more mindful of protecting ourselves and placing boundaries where boundaries need to be placed.
Yes, boundaries are so powerful. When I learned how to do boundaries, it changed my life.
Oh yeah, I can't live without it.